Hello everybody, welcome back to Modern Dentures. So in this video we're going to be fitting this denture. It's a full and I'm just going to go through the stages that I use when I'm fitting a denture, full denture. It's fairly straightforward compared to partials, but there are a few things that I'm just going to explain as we go along. Right, so fitting dentures today.
Yeah.
Have you got your old ones in?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to take those out for me. Just pop a bib on because I'll probably need to do some adjustments. So I always fit the lower denture first. I just find it easier to put the lower denture in first and then put the top denture in afterwards, just because it's a little bit easier if you put the top denture in first. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to then get the lower denture in. The first thing I do, I just look when it's come back from the lab and I just run in my fingers around the fitted surface of the denture to make sure there's no sort of sharp areas. Sometimes you get these little pimples of raised areas where it might be like a little air bubble in the plaster that fills with plastic and then it leaves like a little bubble, and they're very difficult to see and sometimes the lab miss them. But if you just run your finger over the fitting surface, just feeling for those, make sure there's none there. The other thing you can use is cotton wool, and if you run it over, it just catches on the cotton wool and leaves the little fibres behind, so that's a good way of finding those areas. Doesn't look like there's any on here, however, if we look on the impressions, we can see in these areas, it's a little bit, feels a little bit rough on the silicone. I think what that is in this case, is a little bit of fixative. So we had some fixative on the dentures when the patient come in, so feeling that it's replicated it onto the denture, so I'm just going to smooth those areas off first. Okay, so once I've done that, the next thing I'm doing, I'm looking for any overextensions, especially around the frenums, because any sort of compression in those areas, obviously they're going to be the areas that are going to get sore and cause problems first. I'm also looking on the lower in the external oblique ridge. If you cover that area too much, it can cause problems because we tend to see that the tissue's quite thin in that area and they can pinch. So on this one, we don't really have any extensions in that area. And then the next is in the lingual aspect, so sort of around the mylohyoid ridge area, it's a bit, the skin again can be a little bit thin in that area, and that's the areas you tend to see it pinch in. The other areas that can cause problems are in the retromolar pads. When most of the literature explain that you're supposed to extend those posterior regions of the lower denture up to 2/3 of retromolar pads. However, in my experience, your best guide is go to the height of the occlusal surface. If those retromolar areas are higher than the posterior teeth, it causes problems in mastication with when the upper and lower's in, and you go into a protrusion, and then it will hit on those areas. So always make sure that they're down and level. Okay, so then we fit the lower denture, and we just pop it in. Just relax your lips for me. And then I'm just going to put some pressure on it. Is that digging in anywhere? Any sort of pinching? Feels quite even across the gums. Yeah. The next thing I do is just distend the cheeks a little bit, and I'm just feeling for lifting. So when you're pulling the cheeks out, you're just gently putting one finger on the occlusal surface, and then you're lifting the cheeks to see if the denture's lifting up. And just put your tongue on the roof of your mouth. That's it. So when we do that, there's a little bit of lifting. There's nearly always going to be lifting there, but it's the amount of lifting that's important. If it's just a little bit, that's fine. But if it's a lot, then we probably have to reduce those lingual flanges down a little bit, just to give a little bit more room, because obviously when the tongue comes up, lifts the floor of the mouth, and that will just pop the denture up. And quite often it's in the anterior lingual area that's the biggest problem for the denture lifting. But typically when it's extended down past that mylohyoid ridge again, if it goes past that, the floor of the mouth comes up. It doesn't always lift the denture, but you're definitely then going to see sores and ulcers and problems in that area. So we do exactly the same with the top denture. We're just running our finger around, seeing if we can feel any little problematic areas. If there's any areas of the flange that might feel a little bit sharp. So there's a little bit here, just on where the hamulus notch is on this one. Again, it's another area that can cause problems, almost like frenums with the hamulus notch. When the mouth's open really wide, it can pull down tight on these areas and cause a problem. Pop this top one in. So again, if I put pressure on there, is that okay, or is that pinching anywhere?
No,
it's all right.
Fine, yeah.
And close together for me. And open and close. Is it heavier on one side more than the other? Or does it feel quite even?
Feels all right.
It might feel a little bit loose to start with, both of them. It takes about an hour usually for it to sort of bed in a little bit. So on this top one, if we pull down and... So we got the suction now. I can feel that it's, you know, the suction's there, but it's just going to take a while for it to sort of bed in a little bit.
Yeah.
And you can hear that suction on there as well, so that's good. But it usually takes about an hour. So on that top denture, there's like a ridge that goes across the back.
Yeah.
That's designed to press into the soft tissue. So when we first push it in, the soft tissue sort of like push it away a little bit.
Right.
But as it beds in, that's what helps create the vacuum, and then you'll get a better suction. But because of those areas, or because of that area, sometimes we need to take a bit off, because if it's too big, it'll press in, it might cause an ulcer or bruise or something like that. Probably feel like a huge mouthful.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they always do. Even if we make smaller dentures than the existing ones, they still feel big in the mouth because it's just different, and obviously the tongue's very sensitive, so it will all feel a little bit strange. Yeah. Speech and things will take a little bit getting used to. Right. For most people, it's a couple of days, but it can take up to a couple of weeks. Okay. Some people get used to it in a couple of hours, but same with eating, you know, just slow down with your food. It's going to take longer. You might bite your lip or your tongue or something a couple of times, which is, again, it's normal, but once you've used them for a while, that should go away. If it doesn't, just let me know and I'll do some adjustments on it. Now, obviously, you can put a little bit of glue on. Yeah. If you want that confidence, especially if you're going to go out for a meal or something like that and you want to make sure that they stay in. They look really good, don't they? They do look good. They look really natural. Yeah. Yeah, really pleased with them. There's a nice balance on there as well. Yeah, so.
Yeah, spot on. Yeah.
So you've got an appointment for next week. Yep. And that's for any adjustments. Yep. Okay, so if they do rub, what I always say to people, don't persevere with it. If there's any sort of pain or discomfort, take them out, go back to your old ones, but put them in a day or two before you're due to see me, so I can see, you know, where that pressure is, where it's rubbing. Okay. If it gets a bit sore and you take them out and then you come in a week later, it's all healed up and I can't see it, it makes it very difficult for me to then pinpoint exactly where the problem is.
They do that really good.
When you're putting the glue on as well, don't put loads on, just a little tiny amount, little tiny spot, just one spot. Spread it over the whole fitting surface and then wet it before you put it in. Right. So you're putting like a very thin film over the fitting surface and that way it'll help with the retention. Because if you put too much, all it'll do is swell up and then it will lift the dentures away and then you'll get more movement. Yep. I'm going to give you all the construction models, all the impressions and everything that we didn't use. That's quite good little pots, these ones. Lovely. Here we go then.
Thank you very much. So next Thursday?
Yeah, next Thursday. Thank you very much. It's literally just an aftercare, so should be a quick one, hopefully. Yeah. Okay, so that went really well. Only minor adjustments. At this stage, what I'd normally do is give the patients their impressions and their models and things like that. We just package it up nicely, put it all in bubble wrap, put it in a nice box, we give it to them. We say, you ever need any adjustments or alterations, just bring those models back in with you, because sometimes there's things that we can use. So for example, if they need a tooth added, any teeth that we didn't put on the denture, we just put those in the box as well. And then we've got the exact tooth that we need to add to the denture, should we need to. Now, the other thing is, when you do the aftercare, if the denture's rubbing in any certain area, if he comes in and says, oh, it's rubbing in the roof of my mouth when you can't see where it's rubbing, always refer back to the impressions so you can see, you just have a little look at those, and if there's any pressure points through the impression material onto the tray, they're usually the areas that are going to need adjusting in the mouth, because that's the area where you're getting the pressure points. This one's not too bad. There's a little bit in the roof of the mouth, and then there is a little bit on the retromolar pad areas as well. So the other thing that I didn't do today was I didn't check the occlusion. I did check it by just eyeballing it, but I didn't check it with blue paper. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I eyeball it and have a little look. Because we've got lots of soft tissues on this one, the problem with spotting it too soon is sometimes the patient can go away, and then as the denture settles in, all the work that you do for adjusting the occlusion goes out the window, because they sort of settle into a different angle, and then I find then you're spotting the occlusion again. So I usually do that on the aftercare appointment, not always. If I put it in and I can see that, you know, there's a little bit more pressure one side than the other side, or the patient's saying, oh, it's a bit heavy this side, or then obviously then I'll go through and I'll spot it in a little bit. But again, just a little bit as well. I don't go overboard with it, because I do like the patients just to wear the dentures for a week. They're definitely bed in properly, because you will get compression of those soft tissues. Not so much with the partial dentures. So if a patient's got a small partial denture with a couple of teeth on it, I'll spot that in pretty much straight away. It's unlikely that it's going to actually cause any compression of soft tissue, because the metal framework is literally resting on the teeth in those sort of situations. So once you put it in and it's there, it's going to be very little movement. There will be a little bit of movement, you know, sometimes the teeth can shift a little bit, but nowhere near as much as the soft tissues. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, guys, please like and subscribe. You'll get notified then in the future when I upload. It's the first video I've done for a few weeks because I've been off ill, but I'm back on it again now, so you'll be seeing me again a bit more regular. Cheers, see you in the next one. Bye.